Oh mate, he's getting a bit jumpy. There's only a few strands of wire between him and me, so I'm bloody well out of there. He's coming after me. You win, buddy. You win. Shit, yeah. So guys, I went out yesterday and bought a set of Alpinestars Tech 7 Enduro boots. I'm upgrading from the former adventure boots to Tech 7s, and the main reason for it is safety. I'm after a little bit more ankle support and also shin protection. As well as them, I've bought some pod knee braces, which I've got both these on, the boots and the braces, and some Enduro pants as well. So yeah. So what I'm doing today is just going out for a bit of a ride on some of these tracks, just taking it easy, just to sort of bed the boots in. And it's a bit of a learning curve for me to go from the adventure boots to these, because these are very firm, very stiff, as you would expect. And the adventure boots are very pliable, and that was one of the reasons I've swapped over. I still keep the former adventures, because they are a really good boot. They're really good. First thing I noticed when I put these boots on is walking in them. Obviously, if you're buying a set of boots for walking in, these are not the boots to buy. Alright, stick to your adventure boots. You know, you don't want to go mountain climbing or anything like that along trails that you would normally do on an adventure bike. Sorry, an adventure boot. Adventure bike, what did I say? Yeah. So these being not as pliable, you're not going to get that flex that in the heel and the like, because these have a very solid heel. I believe they have a steel strapping through it to keep it nice and solid, give you that extra protection, and also help you on your foot pegs. Help you, keep you nice and solid on your foot pegs. So it's been a bit of a learning experience for me with these. I suppose a relearning experience more than anything, because first thing I noticed besides walking in them is hopping on the bike, finding the pegs, because the sensation between an adventure boot and these is totally different. So as a motorbike rider, you rely a lot on your sensors, obviously, but you'll rely a lot on your feedback from your bike, things like the bumps and vibration and the like, how the bike's feeling, how it's leaning and all that sort of stuff, and you get a lot of feedback through your feet. And because these are solid sole, I suppose, a stiff sole, they don't have as much feedback coming through to them that the adventure boot does. You might find this different if you're already riding with them. You might be different, it might be just me, but this is my take on it. So I had to sort of adjust to that, and it's fine now. I've been on the bike for about an hour with them, and it's feeling pretty well okay. I had to adjust the gear lever on the left. I had to just raise it one notch, and that's just to get the toe of the boot under it, because with the adventure boots I could sort of push the toes down a little bit and get them under the gear lever, and that was fine. These I've had to raise the gear lever just to get it under it, and that's a new learning in itself, because now the gear lever is in a totally different position, so I'm having to find the gear lever. I've now relearnt it, it's fine. I might go back to the original position, we'll see how that is. The original position, it might work now that I've sort of got used to the boots. Same with the brake lever, putting pressure on the brake. I was struggling to feel the brake. Now the Tenere 700s have very soft, sort of spongy brakes as it is, so with a harder solid boot on, it doesn't help. Third or fourth thing I can mention here is when you put your foot on the ground, these boots don't feel as stable under sole, but around the ankle, shin and all that, where all your reinforcement is, they feel really good. So when I'm saying they don't feel as stable on the sole, with the adventure boots, they've got nice big wide, I suppose, rubber platform soles with plenty of grip on them, and you put your foot down and your foot and the boots sort of work together, mold together. With these, the hard pack touches the ground and you feel like your leg's going to roll a little bit, but I'm a little bit more used to that now. So I'm running the stock standard Tenere pegs on this. I have the rubbers removed. Now I can feel my boot just sitting on the edge of it, so it's sort of pivoting on the edge a little bit. I think with the with these sort of boots here, it probably would be beneficial to have something like pivot pegs, so you get that rock and roll sort of happening there. So if you have to drop your foot forward to go under the gear lever, you can pivot the pegs down. Thus, that's what they're for. And also when you're standing up on sort of long rides, long stretches and that, in the sand and the like, that you can sort of move back and forward a little bit better. So as I said, I'm only running the Tenere pegs on this with the rubbers removed, so nothing fantastic there. I'm sure a better brand of pegs would make a big difference, but then again, a better brand, a bigger brand, and that you might have a larger sole surface contact there with the wider pegs and stuff like that, so that may create some havoc. If you do have those and you're riding with them, please make a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on it, because I'd be interested to replace these pegs. And at this stage here, it's looking to probably be pivot pegs that I'll go for. So all in all, so far I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to go back to the shed and jump off the bike and do a bit of a breakdown of the boots. I'm not going to do a full review, just going to have a quick look at them, compare them against the adventure boots. There's plenty of videos out there, so it'll be very brief. We'll look at the old boots I had, the old Rossies, and see what your thoughts are. So don't forget to subscribe, share, all that sort of stuff, and even comment. Put some comments down there. You may not agree with what I'm saying. That's fine. That's fine. Put your comment down there if you don't agree. That's fine. If you agree, please put your comment as well. Ask some questions or something like that, and see how we go. And tell me what your experience is with your different boots. Maybe you've come from the adventure boot going onto the maybe more enduro style or motocross boots. All right, let's go and have a look at this. Alrighty, that looks pretty good. Okay, just got back from the ride. Big shout out to Rider Guider. He's given me this cap here to hide this ugly head. So check it out, Rider Guider wearing it. So let's rip these off. Not sure if you can see it. So we'll see how we go. Let's have to speed this up a little bit for you because it'll be a bit boring, isn't it? Watching me bloody well undress. Alright, so there's the boot. As you can see here, I've got the pod knee brace on underneath it. So yeah, take these off, pretty straightforward. Really locked in firm there. Awesome clips. Very easy just to unclip those. So if you've got an emergency or something like that, bloody hell, 5 seconds and you've got them off. So there you go. So that's the boot itself. I did notice when I was hopping off the bike that I tend to put my foot down a little bit on the side there, and you get a fair bit of twist there, so you just got to be really careful of that. Now I was just saying how easy it was to take off. Here's a set of my original boots. So some of you old school riders will probably recognise these, the old Rossies. So these are the Rossies 5 strap, I think they're called 5 strap or 6 strap. That, you don't get boots like that anymore, and these have been around. It's held together, the sole there, by stainless steel screws, starting to fall apart now. But I've held on to these because this were my first set of boots. I used to ride in the Victorian high country with these. They're bloody awesome. So they're probably 40 plus years old, I reckon. I've had them for, I reckon close to 40 years. So pretty good boots. Second from that, the former. I've had a couple of pairs of boots in between. These are the formers, and they've seen a fair bit of action. Now, I suppose if we compared the old sort of boots, these were the things you wore. You can see pretty flip-floppy, good tread on them, good solid base and that. Steel cap, well, sort of steel cap. I'm not sure if that's steel. I think it might actually be a sort of a plastic insert in there. But once again, a lot of flexibility there, a lot of chance of snapping an ankle. Then you get on something like this. Now, recognise that this is not all done up, so it's not going to be super tight. So you can see that there's flex there, but as I said, that's not done up. It's taken a fair bit to get that down. Left to right, I cannot get that to flex. So that's the benefit of going for something like this, I suppose, over a boot like that. Is you're going to get that rigidness there, that tautness there on your shin, on your ankles and all sorts of stuff, and probably save your ankles if you come off in the rough. So negatives, I suppose, your tread's not going to be as good. So obviously on the adventure boot, you're going to get a better tread pattern. This is not too bad. As I was saying in the video, it can be a little bit slippery. on the wet surfaces and that, but just have to ride with that and deal with it. These give fairly good protection along the front of the shin bone there. Well, these give you, I suppose, heaps of protection, a lot more protection. So I don't know what the proper words for that would be, but yeah, heaps of protection. And on the back as well, you know, you've got this rigidness here, which is going to sort of, you know, protect overextension and stuff like that of your legs. So match these in with something like the pod braces. Pretty well got the lower part of my body protected. Yeah, so guys, a couple of things. If you got a pair of these, let me know. If you've ridden with these, tell me what you think. I'm sure there's probably a lot of old classic Enduro riders and MX riders would love to have a set of these just for display. They're just going to go on the shed wall. Let me know if you transition from the adventure bike boots across to the more Enduro-based motocross sort of boots. Tell me what your thoughts are. Yeah, and comment, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Till I see you next time. Happy riding. I'm going to get back to the bike here and adjust that gear lever, bring it back up to where I had it before. That seemed to work well. I was riding back home with the gear lever just touching there, pulling it up with the side of my boot. It's not ideal, especially if I've got a wet boot and stuff like that. All right, guys, thanks for that. Thanks for watching. Hope you haven't bored you or anything like that. Pop your comments down there, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. As I said, happy riding. Catch you on the trails. Bye.